Hi, welcome to Demolition Inc. This is Beholder. Got a lot of stuff for you today. Well, I'm here live from the Shiloh Scott station, sitting here waiting for a ride, and so I figure I'll go ahead and do this while I'm thinking of it. Well, if you've been watching Little House on the Prairie, if you watched it back when you was a kid or you're watching it for the first time, pay attention to Laura Ingalls. Everybody thinks because the Ingalls is a great family, Charles is a hard-working person, so is Caroline. Mary went through some bad luck with blindness, and Carrie was just being a little kid. Laura was actually much of a troublemaker than what everybody thought. I didn't think about this for a long while because, I love the Ingalls. They're a great family. But if you sit back before she got married, if you watch some of the episodes, she was actually a troublemaker. She disobeyed her parents. She did things that she wanted to do. She was causing trouble in school and everything. So go back and watch Laura Ingalls very carefully. And she's not the innocent girl that everybody thought she was. Everybody thought Nellie was the troublemaker. Yeah, sometimes she might do some things, but Laura was the instigator of 75% of the whole thing. And so that was one thing I wanted to mention to see if anybody caught what I thought about. Now, All In. That was awesome. The pay-per-view was All In. It was cool. Steve Amell, oh my God, I have to give props to that guy. Being an actor, being an Arrow is awesome. But man, in the ring, only 3 matches in his career, and you couldn't tell. It looked like he's been wrestling for years. He even did an RVD move. Wow. That was just something I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, doing an RVD thing, it was just like amazing and stuff. But although he still lost to Christopher Daniels, but it still showed that it wasn't bad, it was pretty good. And then they started off the show with Road Warrior Animal returning to Chicago on a Ring of Honor show or whatever, All In. But it was pretty cool. And that the Battle Royal, I think, could have did a little bit better. They could have had a shocker. The only non-WWE guy was Billy Gunn, really. They had an opening. I know CM Punk wasn't going to come back. We already know that for a fact, but everybody wants Punk. But we all know he ain't coming back. But they could have brought in Neville. They could have brought in Ryback. They could have brought in Austin Aries that would have shot if he would have won and faced Jay Lethal for the title. It would be Impact. He would be Impact Heavyweight Champion versus Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Would have been a much more interesting thing. But Flip Gordon got to be on All In and won and everything and that. But we'll get to that later. Then we go through the pay-per-view. It's like, okay. And stuff. I'm glad Tess Blanchard won over Madison Rain, Britt Baker, and I can't think of the other girl and everything and stuff. But Chelsea Green. But the good part was you got to see Tully Blanchard, 4 Horsemen, and you got to see Magnum TA of NWA, legendary, there at ringside supporting her and everything. That was pretty cool. Gave me a tear to my eye thinking of, because I was growing up with wrestling, especially the old stuff like the NWA thing. And then Jay Lethal beats Flip Gordon. Then Bully Ray comes down, starts beating up on Flip Gordon, and then and Jay Lethal, and then Lenny Poffo, who was in Jay Lethal's corner because Jay Lethal came back as Black Machismo. Ooh yeah, doing the Macho Man. Dedication to the Macho Man and everything, but Jay Lethal won, and then Bully Ray comes in, ruins everything like he always does because he's an asshole and everything, thinks he's better than everybody. Started beating up on him. Lenny Poffo tries to do something, he gets beat up. Then Colt Cabana comes in, starts cleaning the house, and then they said, you know what? Let's do the Shield. And they picked him up, and Colt Cabana was like the Roman Reigns guy, and did the Shield powerbomb through the table, and I heard Bully Ray said, "Some a bitch," or some type of cuss word. I was like, wow, so it was pretty cool. Then Adam Page took on against Jane Janelle or something like that. And Adam Page won, but then all of a sudden, here comes these guys dressed up like penises. It was so fucking funny. And then also, here comes Joey Ryan, comes back alive, that Adam Page thought he murdered, and he admitted it the day before at a press conference. And here he comes, and he's sitting there doing this thing and stuff, and then he did the thing where you grab his nuts and do like the arm drag flip or whatever, and it was pretty cool. And I was like, wow. Then you had Cody Rhodes versus Madness. I like him better as Madness for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Something that his dad, the God bless his soul, the great Dusty Rhodes had. And they did everything. They tore the roof off. They did everything. Even Brandy Rhodes stopped it from happening. Tried to stop him from losing the match. Took a fall for him, and Cody did it. Became World Heavyweight Championship. Probably his dad was happy from heaven, and he was crying everything and stuff because he held something that his daddy held. Now the sad part is the only person who had a couple opportunities at the NWA title but never won was Dustin Rhodes, a.k.a. Goldust. And now we're just going to have to see what's going to happen next. But then after they did all that stuff, then Kenny Omega took on against, I can't remember who he fought against, but Kenny Omega won. It was a great, no, give me a minute. But I'll just go through the match. But Kenny Omega won. Oh, Pentagon. He took on against Pentagon. Sorry, I didn't write this stuff down. I'm just going as I going with. But Pentagon lost to Kenny Omega. Everything was going great. Then all of a sudden the lights went out, and they're like, not again. And then all of a sudden, Pentagon was back in the ring after getting beat up, getting destroyed, lost. But he didn't look the same because you could tell he didn't have that many tattoos. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he did a code breaker, took off the mask, and it was Chris Jericho. And he told him, I will see you at the Jericho cruise ship. So he's going to be facing Kenny Omega at the Jericho cruise ship. And I will have more information about the Jericho cruise ship. Probably later on I'll have some information about that. So we went through that match. Then we went through the Rey Mysterio teaming up with Bone Deal and Phoenix against the Young Bucks and Ibushi. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. He's Kenny Omega's tag team partner of the Golden Elite, but part of the elite of the Bullet Club. And the Young Bucks and them won, but they had to do a short time because they were running out of time. With all the other matches they had, they were barely enough time for pay-per-view that it would have went off in the middle of their match, and they would be like, what the heck? So they had to quickly finish the match because they had, I think they could have cut down the matches a little bit or some type of whatever it was, but they just didn't prepare enough time for everything. But that was pretty cool. Now we get to wait to see what's going to happen tonight on Monday Night Raw after Braun Strowman turns heel. Shawn Michaels supposed to be there tonight and everything. And then we get to see the Bella Twins take on against the Riot Squad. And the rival goes for the tag team titles. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But that's about all I got right now. I could talk about more other things, but this is about the best I can do right this moment. So please, if you have any questions or comments, please tell me. I'll be gladly to answer them, or we could talk about it here. So don't be afraid. I want fans. I want more viewers, because this is where the best is. So live on and prosper. Keep your feet to the ground. Keep reaching for the stars. And we will see you next time.